and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. Level M Diecast, doing arguably my favorite thing to do on the channel. We are going to crack open a new release of Real Working Rigs. This is 2024 mix number 3, Uno Dos Tres. This is the full set. We do have the new guy as well, but we're going to cover the carry forward models as Mattel likes to put them. Obviously, you can see we got 2 rollbacks here. We've seen this one twice. This is the original release for this particular one. This one is dated B08. This is the original OG release of this deco for this international rollback. Of course, it does do the rollback thing, which looks pretty good. And then it does have the extra little bar that comes out of the back here. Looks pretty good. Decoed up pretty good. Lots of chrome on it. Side prints on the side. Some striping underneath the bed there, some caution tape in there, and then it does have some print for the taillights as well. This was the re-release we got. See, the original one did have a little print for the light bar on the top. That print did go away. Additionally, the print on the side got real big for that MBX transport, so a little bit bigger on the re-released. A little bit different prints overall, just a little bit different small size, and then the re-release one there on the top had some black outline for the taillights. But other than that, it was identical. There was a little bit of base change details too. Just basically updating things, changing things around just a little bit. So we got those. Now, this is our 3rd release of that particular deco. I'm not really sure why we have to get this one again. There's been a few decos for this model that they have not re-released yet, so why not pick one of those if that's what you have to do? International Durstar 4400. This one is number 6 of 16 for 2024. We'll get this guy cracked out. Nice to see. We still have chrome bits in there, though. Always happy to see the chrome bits. This one has the headlight print is a little bit low, which is unfortunate. Just a little bit low, but we can live with that. Still has all the same, moving features that you'd expect from the original, including this bar that comes out the back. In comparison to the previous one right before this one, that is the one on the top, see they went back to the small logo for the MBX transport. All the other numbers and stuff there are the same. The headlight prints a little bit smaller on the new one. I know that my version here is a little bit off, but the headlight print is just a little bit smaller and a little bit crisper. You can see the headlight detail, the brand new one there on the bottom, the previous one on the top. As far as prints go in the back, our brand new one there on the left, the previous one on the right, exact same prints between those two. Our brand new one on the left is definitely far less pearl than the previous one, which is on the right. But other than that, it is all the same color interior, same color window, all that kind of stuff like that. It's still the same base deeds. It's already been updated, all that good stuff. And then our brand new one here is dated T06. T06. So we've gotten a trifecta of rollback tow trucks thus far. All right, moving on to the next one. This is the GMC Top Kick Tree Trimming Truck C8500 Top Kick 2009. This one does have 2 outriggers on each side, or 2 outriggers total. One on each side that come down just like that to stabilize it. My particular version, this driver side one has never stayed in there from the second I pulled out of the package way back in the day. Doesn't actually have a GMC logo in the grill, but this one has quite a bit of maneuverability. So you have it down there. The arm does raise all the way up. The boom and the bucket have all the articulation you'd expect. Full 100%, 360. Let's see here. Ooh, there we go. 360 degree turn. It does get a little bit stiff in there. Not a whole lot of friction. You got to remember this particular model I've had for, I don't know, it's probably 17 years or something like that. It's been a long time since this came out. Actually, I think it's 2009 is when this one came out. It does have the platform there on the top. That's where you would actually access to get into your boom and then do your tree trimming stuff. Also has the dumping part here in the back with a piston there. Looks pretty good. And then, of course, it does open up. There is no taillight prints or anything on this particular version. This OG version right here is dated See if there is a day. E30. See the day code's right over here. E30 is the day code. So it's a very, very, very long time since we've seen this one. This is our re-release. First time this has been re-released from the OG deco. That is the very first deco they ever did for this casting, by the way. So I can kind of forgive that. Number 16 of 16 for 2024. Nice to get this one popping out of there. So this one does all the exact same stuff as before. All the same moving features. Still has the 360 rotation, which goes all the way around. Still has, obviously, the dumping part, which we saw. This looks pretty good. Let's see if it has the outriggers still. Still have the outriggers. It does. These outriggers are very, very stiff, but the outriggers are there. Oof. So very, very nice to see those actually stay in there. So first thing you're going to notice right off the bat, our brand new one right here is super, super dark orange. So they did change the platform color on there. It's extremely dark orange. I think it looks better being that dark orange. So that is a significant change from the original. The original there on the top, the prints are the same between the two. A little bit lighter prints on the new one, which is on the bottom. Still has all the same colors and stuff like that, though. Still the same deco on the door. Says Greens Division on the side. Maybe a little bit more bright for the original green versus the re-release there at the bottom. But again, all the prints are going to be the same. The other thing I wanted to point out, this is Aldar 58 equipment, as you see there on the side. So this is sort of kind of Rannik in a way. It does have all the Rannik bits to it. But this was way back in the day. As a matter of fact, this probably predated any Rannik decos that came out, which is fine. But if you want to throw this in your Rannik themed deco, you could definitely do that. All right, take a look at the base deets. There should be some changes to the base, I would assume. Well, I guess I might be wrong. The new one there on the bottom, dated T11. Other than that, all the details are exactly the same. They actually changed nothing on the base. So I'm actually pretty taken back by that. Details on the casting itself have remained unchanged, which is definitely good. So even though those are a bit of a color change, you could probably build a fleet with those. You could probably build a fleet. All right, our International Workstar dump truck. There's been a red version of this one, and that one's been released like bazillions of times. So finally, they've switched to a different one to re-release. This is the OG version of the blue one. This one does have some chrome tanks on it, chrome grille in the front, some basic silver print for the headlights, a little bit of print right here for the windshield topper. That is part of the casting. It's not an extra piece. It's just printed up. A little bit of print there on the top to simulate a canopy, or tarp, I should say. And then, of course, you do have your bars right here, which are printed up, which would simulate the tarp that goes over. Real Working Rig 005, it shows in the back. Taillight prints on this, and of course it's a dump truck, so it does dump truck stuff, which is exactly what dump trucks do. And then there is your base deets. That is A50. This is one of the original Real Working Rigs, the OG Real Working Rigs right here, all the way back, A50 day code. All right. This is the new one, the re-release one, number 15 of 16. You can already see there is significant cost cuts with this one, which I guess technically you can take that as a win because it theoretically makes it a lot different than the original release. But really, I just look at it as cost cutting. So the biggest thing you want to look at right here, our new one has lost all the chrome, so you get no chrome or anything like that, which is unfortunate. See, on the original one, they actually put a little bit of a blueprint underneath that grill to separate it because the grill and the bumper are actually the same piece. It's alright. It's okay. They did get the International logo on the new one, though, just like the original. It's just not chrome. The new one has a little bit of a whitish gray print for the headlights versus kind of a silverish gray on the original. Deets on the side. Same prints between the two as far as like the deco is concerned. Try to hold this a little bit better. I do apologize. It's a little bit awkward. There we go. You know, it makes a huge difference with those tanks not being chrome. Again, on this new one, you know, just cost-cutting measures. They didn't even print the side of the tarp piece. So that was another cost-cutting measure, which is unfortunate. They also didn't print that piece above the windshield, which is a cost-cutting measure. They didn't print the top here on the top, the tarp on the top. That is also a cost-cutting measure. So this one is actually dramatically different just due to the cost-cutting effects of it. As far as the deets in the back, though, they are exactly the same. The other thing I want to point out is the plastic on the original one has a bit of kind of metal flake-ish look to it to kind of match the cab a little bit better. This new one it's just blue. It's just blue plastic. There's nothing to it. The print on the cab is pretty close, but the blue for the dump itself is just basic plastic. Still does all the things it's supposed to do, though. So I guess we can take it up for that. Take a look at our base deets. There is quite a bit of changes to the base as well. The original one here on the top. New one there on the bottom. Got all the updated prints and all that good stuff like that. T11 is the day code. It is still assembled exactly the same, though. Details on the other side are the same. So, like I said, big, huge cost-cutting situation, but I guess we'll take that as a win because it's actually dramatically different. All right, moving on to the only new one in the mix. Yes, just like the rest of the mixes we've had this year and the rest of the mixes that we will continue to have for this year, which is probably only going to be two, maybe just one. There will be one new deco and or casting potentially. There is some stuff coming, and then all the other three are just re-released decos. So this is your brand new one for the case. Number 2 of 16, Pierce Quantum. I think it's a little bit hilarious that they use the Velocity platform truck to indicate that the ladder moves, even though this is not the Velocity platform truck. Just kind of weird. So I'll get this one decoed up or pulled out of here so we can check out the deco. There we go. Now this one does don a new deco theme that we've already seen once in Moving Parts. It was on the Ram ambulance. I should have a picture of that. I'll throw that up on the screen. So we're going to be able to put together a little bit of a emergency crew, I guess you could say. This one is pretty nice. It does have prints all the way around, which, well, except for the back, because it never has prints on the back. But it does have prints on the front, which is not common. That looks pretty good. It actually looks pretty good. A little bit of silver print above the headlights. Blue and red on the headlights themselves. It's kind of an interesting print, but at least it's there. Matchbox County Fire Department, all of those chevrons there at the bottom. The back section of this casting is plastic. The front section is metal. It's always been that way. That's not a cost-cutting measure, so don't worry about that. Chrome on the back. I do like the fact that the chrome has not gone away. I think the chrome is super important on fire trucks, especially for all the pumper apparatus details on the inside. That looks good on this side as well. I do like these details. Matchbox County, of course, does have the boom that goes up, which looks pretty good. The boom does go full 360, and then it does have a second stage to it, which goes up pretty far. So that is a pretty tall boom. I had a little blade here just for, comparison purposes. It's a pretty big one, and then, of course, like I said, 360. So you can pose it up. It looks pretty good. This has always been a great casting. This one is also one of the OG original castings from the original release of Real Working Rigs back in the day. So there you go. That one is pretty nice. Base details on this one. Super chrome base. Looks pretty good. This one, it's probably got a day code on there, but it's just kind of mended in there. But T8 to T11 is basically where our day codes have been dropping into. So there you go. That is Real Working Rigs mix number 3 for 2024. Again, re-releases, one new one per mix. This one will probably be difficult to find. I do think this is only one per case, which it literally doesn't make any sense to do one per case on that one. But it's a good mix. Pretty happy with it. I think there's enough variations on the re-releases to run with. The international dump truck is significantly different, but like I said, cost cutting. That's all they're doing. I look forward to the gathering. There will not be another mix out before the gathering, so we will find out at the Matchbox gathering what the fate of Real Working Rigs is. But I will keep my fingers crossed. Even if they keep doing re-releases, I'll take what I can get. So I appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Hope you guys found that video good, informative, all that good stuff like that. Love doing real working rigs. My favorite thing of all time. And glad we can continue to do these comparos for you. And drop a comment. Let me know. Until then, we're going to roll out. As always, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. You guys are awesome. Appreciate every single one of you viewers here on Level M. Peace.